years ago when I didn't have any money, but I liked to go camping, this was my camp stove. Picked this up, I think at a farm and fleet or some kind of farm or maybe even a sporting goods store. I think I paid no more than $5 for this, but it's a nice ceramic coated tea kettle, and this I would put water in there to boil food or noodles or something, and also water for my coffee. And if I had a campfire, I'd set it right on the campfire, but if we're at campsites where you couldn't have a campfire, this was my camp stove. And I made it myself, most of it, but it's an old can of peanuts when they used to make peanut cans out of metal. I think some are still made out of metal, but for the most part I think they're cardboard. But what I did was I took a piece of metal, made a little spacer, matches, and I got a can of sterno. Now the sterno has since died, but that was my heat source. So I would take this, open the sterno, light it, and then put this on top, and then it was enough to boil my water with. And it worked pretty good in a pinch. But this went right here too, to give it a little more space, a little more air. But fast forward to today, and I was watching Noodles the Cat 100, and he had this thing. This is believe an East German mess kit for the East German Army or the German Army. I don't know, East or West German. It's got a little flaky paint there. As far as I know, it looks like it's never been used. I believe my father-in-law got it at a garage sale or some surplus place, but it's never been used. There's no heat marks or anything on it, but it's the same as Noodles the Cat had. And he's got he had a little outer Swedish mess kit shell that I was looking for. I haven't found it yet, but I got some ideas of what to do about the stand to cooking them. But anyway, you've seen them before. It's got the like a little dish where you can put your food, dish out your food. Got a cup. His has, I think, a flat handle. This one's got a wire handle, so that might suggest what date this was made. I don't know when this was made, but it's pretty thick aluminum, probably about an 1/8 inch aluminum or 1/16 inch aluminum. By the way, you can use this when you're boiling as a lid, like that, or to keep whatever stuff in here warm. So I'll show you that when I use this thing. I saw another video where a guy had a little bottle inside, and what this bottle is going to be for is for denatured alcohol as a spare. Got my ladder, and what I did was I stuffed it with a couple of things that I think I would need. A pair of gloves, a pair of leather gloves to handle it when it's hot. And what I did also was I bought, watching Noodles the Cat 100, I bought a Trangia stove, and you saw that in a previous video here. And what I did was I wrapped it up in this washcloth so it doesn't rattle around too much, and I shoved everything inside. So when I go camping, it's all in one place, and I don't have to think about where to get stuff. But what I'm thinking about doing is when I test it for the first time, I'm going to use this and see how well it works, just to sample it. So stick around. The way you use this thing is pop the cap off and unscrew it, and you want to use denatured alcohol. Now you can get this at any hardware store. Don't go to the medical supply place, go to the paint place. Go to the paint aisle in either Walmart or Lowe's or any hardware store. I think I got this at Ace Hardware. It's a little expensive. I think I paid $6 or $8 for this this can, and it's 1 quart. I think a gallon costs about $15–16, but get denatured alcohol. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this later to put inside, but for now I'm just going to pour it straight into the stove. I'm not going to fill it all the way. Oh, by the way, the Trangia, that's the symbol for Trangia, so if you get one of these and you want a genuine Trangia, make sure it's got that little T symbol on the back there. So I'm just going to fill it about halfway. I don't know how much to put in here. But yeah, I got about ½ inch of alcohol in the bottom there. I don't know how much it's going to take to cook what I need to cook, but here goes. Alright, I've got my infrared thermometer, and right now the outside is reading 71 degrees, and we'll see how hot it gets after it gets burning. Let me get a little close up here. See it burning there around the edges, which is pretty cool. So there's like a little cone of heat up on top, and it is quite warm. So I guess right now I can automatically, or I can go ahead and put my stove cover or my burner on top, and it seems to be going pretty good. Seems to be getting enough air. I don't know if you can see the heat coming off the top there. Alright, I've got 2 cups of water in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to boil this water, and we'll see how long it takes. Let me set my camera, my stopwatch, and I won't make you watch it, but I'll just time it here. Ready, go. Anyway, best I could get was 81 degrees. It was 77, I believe, before I put it on there. So we'll see how hot it gets. But right now, I'm going to take a temperature at the bottom. The bottom is registering 541 degrees. Temperature inside is 99. So that's the surface of the water. Wow, it's getting hot pretty fast. It's been about 6 minutes, and the water's just starting to boil. You can see the little bubbles in there getting ready to go. So I'm sure if I cover it, it would boil a little bit faster. So let me put the cover on. So this is how you use the cover. Just basically just put the lid upside down, and if you want, you can put it like that just to, I don't know, help you keep the balance there. What I'm going to do is when it starts boiling to a roll, I'm going to put me some ramen in there, and I got some chopped up onions and Chinese sausages I'm going to put in there to flavor it up some more. Of course, I'll be using official chopsticks because it is ramen after all. Check it. Yeah, it's steaming up pretty good. Alright, hold on. Alright, it's 9 minutes and 45 seconds, and you see steam coming off the top there. It's quite warm. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glove to use. Go ahead and take this off. Now, I'm inside my garage, and I had to crack the garage door open because the fumes were quite, I don't know, quite, I wouldn't say overwhelming, but you can really notice the fumes now. Not quite sure how you put this sucker out. So that ½ inch of alcohol I put is almost gone. I've got about a 1/16 of an inch alcohol on the bottom, so I'm guessing this is how you put it out. Well, I guess that's how you minimize the flame, I guess. Okay, well, I guess you would snuff it by putting this on top. Boop. There. Okay, now time to put my ramen in. Top. Oh, the side of the canister is 150 degrees. Now that's quite warm. You don't 152 degrees. You don't want to be handling that with your bare hands. Same with the little stove here. It's about 174. Sides of the mess kit is 172. So put my ramen in. Oops. Drops my flavor packet. Chopsticks come in handy there. Alright. And I guess I could throw that one on, but I don't wait for the noodles to cool off. Cover it. And leave it sit for, I don't know, about five more minutes. Okay, it's been 5 minutes since I put the cover on after I put the noodles in. And of course, I'm a guy, I don't read directions, but it says I was supposed to boil it for 3 minutes after, or put the noodles in and let it boil for another 3 minutes, but I'm good with it. Now, what I did was I took the temperature of the stove. Of course, it's 10 minutes now, so it's cool to the touch, or it's warm to the touch, but it's definitely you can handle it. And I noticed after like a minute, I took temperatures of the top and the sides were actually coming after like a minute. We're down to 90 degrees, and the top was still 120 degrees, but now it's quite cool. It's only 85 degrees on the top and 78 degrees on the side, so it cools down quite fast. even this thing, after like a minute of turning the flame off or taking the flame off, it was down to about 90 degrees where you can actually handle it. Even the top was cooled down. So if you can find an old peanut can, you can make a stove too. Of course, I didn't have a drill back then. You can see I took a nail, just like a 16-penny nail, and I just drove holes in the sides of these things, this thing, and then I believe the top, I went to work and had some tin snips at work, and I cut the top with some tin snips, and this is just a piece of scrap steel I found. But you do what you got to do when you don't have any money, right? Alright, let's see what it looks like. There you go. Noodles are perfectly puffed up. Now the sides of this thing are still quite hot because the water has a lot of heat capacity and it keeps things hot for quite a while. But let's see, we're going at 135 degrees. It's not unbearable. I think 150 degrees is the limit, average limit of what humans can withstand as far as holding something. So on the top is 118 degrees, definitely you can withstand holding that, but the bottom is 138 degrees, so not too bad. You can either eat it in here or dish it out in here, but that's one more thing you got to clean if you put it in here. So I'm just gonna eat it out here. There you go. I'll probably add some hot sauce to taste, but that looks good to me. So that works. Give me a sausage. Not too bad, not too bad. If I was camping, yeah, this would definitely hit the spot. A little warm food in you, and it wasn't that long. It didn't take that long. It was 8 minutes, about 18 minutes from start to finish. So definitely a viable option for camping or for the zombie apocalypse bug out kit. It is a little bit bulky, but you know, if you set out on camping, it's not too bad. And the bottom seems to have fared pretty well. No burn marks or anything. All right, so that's it. Cooking with the Trangia alcohol stove and the German mess kit. Try it out. See you later.